1, 2, 3, 4. So let's talk about the right hand first of all. So you're in C position. So C, D, E, F, G. There are two alterations to the hand position here. So your third finger goes on E flat. So your first three notes, C, D, and then E flat. And then your next two notes, fourth finger goes to F sharp, pinky on G. So there's a big space between these two fingers. Okay, so just don't overstretch your hand. But a good way to practice that is just to put your 5 fingers in place and then adjust these 2 fingers to the flats. So your first note lasts for 3 counts, and then the next couple of notes, or the next 5 notes to be exact, last 1 count each, and then D for 2 counts, D for 2 counts. So when the right hand starts in bar 3, the first line goes D, 2, 3, E flat, F sharp, E flat, D, C, D for 2, D for 2. Now we didn't use the pinky note in that line because it's coming up in the next line. Line 2 starts with a 4 count rest because the left hand's busy at this point, the left hand's playing for 1 bar, but we'll talk about that shortly. So line 2, bar 2, the right hand starts. So we've got some new rhythms here. We've got half counts, quavers, but bar 2 starts the same as bar 3 on the first line, with you've got a D for 3 counts and then an E flat. And after that, D, 2, 3, E flat. You've got quavers, 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 D for 2, D for 2. So if we relate the speed of this section to the speed in the first section, so line 1, you've got and then rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the left hand uses the same 2 notes throughout the first and second line. It's just a G and a D, but we get different combinations of rhythms. The first bar and the second bar are the same. So you've got 1, half, half, 1, 1, 1, half, half, 1, 1, but bars 3 and 4, just 1 counts. Then bar 5 is the same as bar 1. And then the start of line 2 is the same as bar 1 again. So we've only got 2 different left hand patterns in the first and second line. So we've got 1, half, half, 1, 1, or we've got 1, 1, 1, 1. So you just need to keep an eye on the left hand to see which one is required. So I'll play the first and the second lines with both hands. So remember, right hand, thumb on C, and you've got E flat and F sharp. That's your 2 extra notes you need. And left hand in G position, pinky on G, thumb on D. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 3 in the right hand only uses 3 notes, E flat, D, and C. So line 3 goes like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got a new left-hand pattern here, G and C. It's the same rhythm, but different notes, G and C rather than G and D. So we've got then back to G and D, bar 1 of the left hand. And again, then line 2, G and C. And then this is similar to the fast bit in line 2. So using these E flats and F sharps to give it that nice Eastern Egyptian feel. And then back to bar 1 in the left hand. So that's the main left hand accompaniment that keeps recurring through this piece. So let's look at line 4, so the last line of the right hand, because this is the tricky part. This wee fancy part, it's better to practice from the second half of that bar and just do C, D, E flat, F sharp, G, just as we practiced in the beginning to set our hand up. So if you can do that, you can then just add the first 3 notes, then it goes back to a D. So it's almost like it's about to start, then it changes its mind, and then it actually does it. So C, D, E flat, D, and then just run up all the fingers. And the left hand for the last 2 lines stays in this shape, G and D, that's your 2 outer fingers that keep the hand in shape, and then we need a C this time, G and C. So left hand only, last 2 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. Line, G and C again, and then the same as bar 1. So here's the whole song once more from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually goes back to bar 3. And so on, and I'll show you why. Because at the end of the music, you've got what's called a first and second time bar. So as you play through the piece, you play from the beginning. So the first time you play all the way through, and you remember we've got a repeat sign here. You keep playing all the way through, and as you get to the end, you play through to what's called the first time bar. So you play the notes in this bar, then you repeat back to here. And then you play through again. So because we're now playing it for the second time, we've got to play the second time bar. So you jump from here to here. So the bass, G, D, D, G, D, G, D, D, G for 2. And we've got a retardando at the end, so we've got to slow down here. Okay, so first time bar means you play it for the first time. Second time bar means you play it for the second time. So it's just 2 different types of endings because this whole section repeats. So 2 different endings because the first time we don't slow down, but the second time we do.